Welcome to our journey through time and torque as we ignite the engines of history to explore an icon of American muscle, the 1970 Plymouth GTX. Buckle up and prepare for a high-octane adventure as we delve under the hood of this celebrated classic, examining the thunderous heartbeat of its legendary engines and the sleek artistry of its design. Whether you're a longtime enthusiast or new to the world of classic cars, there's something for everyone in the story of the GTX. So let's turn back the clock and hit the gas on this automotive odyssey. The 1970 Plymouth GTX, a gem from the realm of classic American muscle cars, gloried in the golden age of raw power and unapologetic style. This polished steel steed emerged in an era when the streets were stages and cars the charismatic actors cruising across them. Nestled beneath the sleek skin of the GTX lay the heart of a behemoth, with options like the Super Commando 440 cubic inch V8 engine, which roared to life with 375 horsepower, or the legend itself, the fabled 426 cubic inch Hemi, which unfurled a tapestry of raw, unbridled power amounting to 425 horsepower. Each turn of the key awakened a symphony of mechanical prowess. The throaty growl of the dual exhaust was a clarion call to automotive enthusiasts who were seduced by its acoustic allure. Externally, the 1970 GTX boasted a refreshed grille and a revised design that set it apart from the models of yesteryear, featuring bold lines that sliced through the air with muscular grace. This steel colossus rode on broad tires that gripped the asphalt with the confidence of a chariot firmly in command of its territory. The rear air grabber hood, with its aggressive scoops, didn't just hint at the power contained within, it announced it. The visual package was enhanced with the strobe stripe, a scintillating decal running along the flanks that added a distinctive visual flair, making the GTX instantly recognizable. This was a car that didn't just transport its passengers, it transported them into a realm where every traffic light was a challenge, and every stretch of road an opportunity to experience the heady thrill of speed. The interior was a cockpit designed not only for comfort, but for command. High-back bucket seats embraced the driver and front passenger as the console laid out the controls with symmetry and purpose. Even in the midst of spirited driving sessions, the instrumentation, including the essential tachometer, fed vital information to the driver with quick glances, allowing for seamless harmony between man and machine. The GTX's spacious cabin, trimmed with the finest materials of the era, was a testament to the fact that performance and luxury could indeed coexist in a single, thrilling package. In essence, the 197 Plymouth GTX represented the pinnacle of a philosophy where cars were expressions of identity and aspiration. It reflected a cultural zeitgeist that valued peak performance and aesthetic bravado, a palpable, throbbing testament to the idea that cars are more than just vehicles. They are vessels of excitement and freedom. As a symbol of its times, the 1970 GTX stands as a monument to an ideology of power, a shimmering beacon of Americana that continues to fascinate car enthusiasts around the world, a stunning machine that decades later still captivates the imaginations of those who revel in the romance of the open road and the glories of horsepower. Even as the 1970 Plymouth GTX charged along the boulevards of America, it was not just in motion, but in conversation, with the pavement beneath it, with the wind that whipped around its streamlined form, and with the very era it came to define. The magnitude of its presence was underscored by its limited production, a vehicle not for the everyman but for the connoisseur, for those who could appreciate the alchemy of steel and gasoline that it so masterfully wrought. It was a machine that commanded respect not just for its velocity, but for its craftsmanship, a crown jewel in the Plymouth lineup that echoed the ethos of an industry bent on pushing the boundaries of performance and style. But the GTX was more than a mere repository of power and beauty. It carried within it stories and memories, the weekends spent at drag strips where timing lights chronicled its prowess, the spontaneous street races that became the stuff of local legend, the camaraderie of car clubs, and the fierce loyalty GTX owners had for their cherished beast, a mutual respect shared between driver and driven. It was a beloved participant in the social fabric of its time, a touchstone for tales of triumph and sometimes tragedy. The GTX was a protagonist in the narratives of those who were lucky enough to grip its steering wheel and commandeer its explosive acceleration, creating indelible marks on the chapters of their lives. As it thundered down the roads, the 1970 Plymouth GTX was also an unwitting harbinger of change. The looming fuel crises and the shift towards emissions control were on the horizon, signaling the end of the muscle car's reign. Yet in its uncompromising expression of freedom and power, the GTX would leave an indelible imprint upon the automotive landscape, becoming a paragon for collectors and historians who would look back upon it not just with nostalgia, but with reverence for what it represented. The last full-throated roar of the muscle car before the quieting of engines and the softening of lines. Today, the legacy of the 1970 Plymouth GTX endures as a collector's dream, a piece of history that continues to turn heads and send hearts racing. Its rarity only amplifies its allure, each remaining GTX a treasured artifact from a bygone era of audacity and might. To witness a GTX at a classic car meet is to watch crowds gather, drawn by its gravitational pull, its mythology spark conversations, and its legacy inspire new generations. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of an era, a four-wheeled icon that, with every rev of its engine, honors the creed of muscle car culture, power, passion, and the eternal pursuit of performance. The 1970 Plymouth GTX, therefore, remains not just a vehicle, but a vibrant and enduring chapter of Americana. Thank you, dear viewers, for joining me on this invigorating cruise through the legacy of the 1970 Plymouth GTX. Your enthusiasm fuels our journey as we delve into the rich tapestry of automotive history and celebrate the essence of American muscle. The GTX encapsulates a period of bold creativity and engineering prowess, and it has been a true pleasure to share and revel in its storied past with you. Your appreciation and passion for these classic marvels make every exploration worthwhile, reminding us why such machines capture our spirits and ignite our imaginations. Until our next adventure, keep the spirit of the GTX alive with your passion for the open road and the symphony of horsepower.